Hey guys, I'm coming back here for the video, guys. Today we're taking a look at Week 7's DFS slate. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off right away, yes, Patrick Mahomes is the most expensive quarterback on the slate for obvious reasons, let's be honest. He goes against the Chargers defense. Although last week versus Denver, he did not look that good. Honestly, he has not really looked that good as of late. And I'll be honest with you, this Chargers game interests me a lot. But for how expensive he is, I'm really to a point where I'm just kind of fading him every single week when it comes to DFS. I don't really trust him at all. I mean, yes, could he go out there and put up some crazy great numbers? Absolutely. But I just don't really like him for this game. Now, the guy I really do like for this game is Lamar Jackson. He goes against Detroit, and the one thing that's good about Detroit is they can score some points, right? They can put some points up in this ball game. And if they can put some points up in this ball game, this could become almost a shootout back and forth with the Detroit Lions. So that game's kind of interesting to look at. We have Stafford versus Pittsburgh. I don't really love that Pittsburgh's defense, although yes, definitely not, the greatest as we thought they were going into this week. Into this year, last week versus Baltimore, they actually held their own. And I guess 2 weeks ago versus Baltimore, they had a bye week last week. They actually held their own pretty well. You got Geno Smith versus Arizona. He's coming off a bad day, and honestly, not really too many good days this year so far. He did play Cincinnati Bengals defense, and their defense is absolutely insane. Houday. There's not many quarterbacks I really love this week. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Josh Allen versus New England. They know him too well. There's that, familiar bond of being able to kind of, game plan him out of that game. And I know it's ironic enough to say that with quarterbacks. And I know, yes, the Saints just blew out the Patriots. But I feel like divisional, that game's going to be a lot tougher than people are going to make it out to be. I actually really do like the Chiefs defense, surprisingly enough. They actually did held their own versus Denver Broncos. I know that was the Denver Broncos, but they actually have looked very good this year. So I'm actually not too interested in that. I'm almost interested in just Lamar Jackson here. They just played the Titans in London, so this is going to be a game where they're going to have to travel back to America, back to Baltimore actually, across the world. My only problem with this game is if you watch that Titans game, there's so many chances it looked like Lamar Jackson was going to take off running, and he simply did not. He really did not. And that obviously hurts us for DFS because the thing we love about Lamar Jackson and many mobile quarterbacks is that they have a floor of rushing upside. So, for example, Justin Fields usually can get an upside of like 6 or 7 points just by him, running around and, using his legs to his advantage. Same concept with Lamar Jackson, same concept with a lot of other quarterbacks. But when a quarterback doesn't run at all and they're very, stationary in the pocket, which is what Lamar was in London, it really hurts us, especially at $7,600 price tag. It's hard to justify going for a guy like that if okay, well, this game could easily be the Ravens run the ball a lot with Gus Bus and Justice Hill, and they don't really take advantage of Lamar Jackson's legs because, again, while yes, the receiving core has looked a lot better other than that Pittsburgh experience, it's going to be interesting for DFS. So, if I do go with Lamar Jackson, this is just our first look lineup. Again, we're going to change this throughout the week. I am going to be stacking him up with Zay Flowers. And that might be it. I don't know if I really love Mark Andrews this week. He's going to be going a lot against the rookie Jack Campbell. And I'm not saying a rookie is going to shut down Mark Andrews. But so far this season, Mark Andrews has not looked that great. A lot of it is the fact the Ravens have a whole new offense with a whole lot of different receivers and obviously, a new offense coordinator. So that's not, very beneficial for Mark Andrews. He used to be like the one and only there. So I don't really love that this week. I'll be honest with you. Gibbs has been ruled out for Tampa Bay's game. It's very possible he does not end up playing in this game versus the, what's it called? It's very possible he does not play versus the Baltimore Ravens in this upcoming game. So if I'm going with anything for a buyback option, I'm probably going Sam Laporta. But I don't even like that because they have Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen in Baltimore, and they are an absolutely dynamic duo when it comes to shutting down the tight end position. I mean, Sam Laporta has been nothing less than perfect so far this season, really stepping up and making some big plays. But I don't know if I love him versus that linebacking core. So again, this is another first look lineup where I'm really just going to be fading, you know, a lot of these players because I just don't like them that much. All right, so let's go to Cleveland, who just beat the San Francisco 49ers, and now they're taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. Listen, PJ Walker did not put up that much fantasy points, but he got the W, and that really comes down to just the fact that, you know, wow. I guess wow is like the best case scenario here. I mean, you can see his receivers really didn't do anything except for Amari Cooper, right? And we don't know if Deshaun's going to play this upcoming week versus the Colts, or if it's going to be, you know, PJ Walker. It's not going to be DTR. It's probably going to be PJ Walker if it's not Deshaun Watson. I don't like anything in that game when it comes to the Browns side, but I also don't like anything from the Colts side because that Browns defense shut down that 49ers offense. Now, given they did hurt Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, but I don't know if I like anything with that Cleveland squad. Especially because it's probably going to be Gardner Minshew. Yeah, it actually is going to be Gardner Minshew because of the fact that Anthony Richardson is out. So, I'm not even touching that. There's not many games I've really loved this week. This is actually a weird week. Let's go with defense. All right, defense for this week. Give me Seattle. They looked very good versus Cincinnati. And I'm not saying that Cincinnati is quote-unquote the best offense. They're not, obviously. You watched the second half of that game last week. You understand that very quickly. But I will say, though, Seattle does have a very good secondary led by rookie Witherspoon. And overall, they're a very good defense. They did shut down everything Cincinnati did. So it's not like they just got lucky a couple plays or they, you know, did a couple great things. They actually did it the whole entire game. And they were very effective with shutting them down. For running back, we have so many injuries, man. It's almost like it's week 7, you know? This is how you know it's week 7 is when you look at the injury report and all you see is non-stop injuries left, right, and center. Isaiah Pacheco, I have not gone with him at all this year. He interests me a lot in this Chargers game. Because, again, he is expensive, 6,100. Very, very expensive player there. But I'm actually okay with that because I think he'll get the workload in the Chargers game. And it's very possible if the Chargers defense is able to do anything versus this Chiefs offense. Hopefully, you know, the Chiefs offense. I mean, the Chiefs get by a lot in this game, which I don't. Yeah, that game's going to be so crazy because it's a divisional game. The Chiefs are already not playing great this season. It's a divisional matchup, which already spells problems. Yeah, I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco here, but I don't even love him this week. Tight end. Maybe Kyle Pitts have a good week versus Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense is exploitable, and they are, to a certain degree, you know, not the greatest unit of all time. I say that in the context of, like, there's not many tight ends I like this week. I know I'm saying that, like, on repeat, but I'm, like, actually being dead serious here. There's really not many options this week I love. Tyler Lockett, I'm not against the idea versus Arizona. Their secondary is not the greatest. It's not like the worst in the world. It definitely isn't. I mean, I'll be honest, their secondary has a lot of upside, but I think they can be exploited very well by Tyler Lockett here. I mean, DK Metcalf just costs way too much in my opinion. Let me just make sure how much DK costs. Because DK probably costs less than him. Because DK's been having a rough season in all honesty. Let me see how much DK Metcalf's cost. 6,800. Yeah, that's, like I said, in my opinion, way too much. Not for the upside, I feel like, of what he's going to do in that game. Give me DJ Moore to have another bounce back game here. And now we kind of have to go cheap with our wide receiver 3. And this might just be more or less like a Hail Mary type of concept here. Especially because I want to go a little bit more expensive at running back. So I'm going to double down on that Seahawks versus Arizona game with Jackson Smith-Njigba. And I'm going to... Ooh, I don't know if I want to triple it, though. I don't know if I want to triple this. But Kenneth Walker has been playing great. And he gets Arizona this week. Alright, so I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go back here because I do not want to put that much faith in that Seahawks versus Arizona game. It's a divisional matchup, and anything possible could happen and go wrong. So let me go change my defense here. Give me the Steelers defense. Maybe they get a touchdown in that game. They can change that game around. I'm going to probably get away from Tyler Lockett here, and I'm going to go elsewhere at the flex position. I mean, at that range, to be honest, there's not many plays I love that range. I might go with Mark Andrews, just for a chance here. Yeah. I think I'm going to lock it in there. Double tight ends this week. Not something I usually like to do, but I think it could work out. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.